Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. Welcome to another amazing episode here of Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. I am grateful to share today 10 reasons why you're not making enough offers in your business. And the reason why I'm doing this episode is because there are so many of you that are talking about you're not seeing the prosperity in your business and you're not making enough offers of your services. And the other issue is that you probably, in many cases, for many people that'll be tuning in, you're not offering a high-end offer. So we're going to talk about both of those things, but primarily not making enough offers in the first place and why you're doing that. In just one moment, I'm going to start diving all the way into all that good stuff. Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free Meditate Make Money meditation today. All right, so let's talk about it. What are these 10 reasons? And I might throw in a bonus one. It seemed kind of weird to call the episode 11 reasons. But I have at least 10 reasons for you today why you're not making more offers. And, more today on what to do about it. Now, if you're an email subscriber to me at yoursacredpurpose.com, you'll know that I sent out an email recently about this, talking about the issue, but I hadn't really taken time in that email, without making a really long email, to address those things. But today, I'm going to start addressing those things a little bit individually, what you can do to shift things around when you start understanding reasons why you're not making more offers. So let's go ahead and start getting into it. Okay, one of the number one reasons, but these are all top reasons, that you're not making these offers is you lack confidence in your ability to consistently help people, for fear, even if it was just one time, you might not get it right. You might not get it right with that client. What if they don't get the results or something like that? Then you would be labeled a fraud. You're a fraud. You're not who you say you are. Say we finally figured it out. You aren't all what you're cracked up to be. And so this idea is definitely in our consciousness for the vast majority of practitioners, coaches, healer type people. And it could even be really any other sort of business where you get concerned about what if things don't work out so well. But particularly in a transformational space, we're offering things and we don't have no absolute understanding if that client will 1000% get the results or not. And if you're being honest with yourself. And if you're not being honest with yourself, that's a whole nother issue. So there's this fear about that. And the reason is, again, and I'll talk about it again, is you have been persecuted and called a fraud probably in a past life. Or if you don't want to go with that one and you don't believe that's true, you've heard about people ripping people off. And the last thing you ever want to do is to do that. And it's the best way to do that is not to make any offers. So it's easy to consider that you potentially could be a fraud, especially if you're doing the deeper spiritual work. Like I do energy scanning and clearing of people's energies as part of the work I do, along with intuitive business coaching. I've put it all together. That's how I typically work with people. And, if you just have that part where you're just doing the energy clearing, it feels a little funky. Even if 95% of the time it's effective or brings results, that 5% where you're not sure in your head, like if it really did what it was supposed to do, or the literal thing didn't shift, or the actual stated intentions aren't fulfilled, well, maybe I screwed up, right? And isn't it horrible to say that the client wasn't receptive enough or didn't do enough or didn't follow through on what they were supposed to do? Isn't that a horrible thing? We've got to take responsibility. So those ideas are around. I used to go to conferences of conscious business owners, and we would talk about these things. And often there'd be a whole thing around, let's feel guilty for a weekend and then go back, maybe make a couple of tweaks, but mostly go back to business as usual. At least that's how I took it. Now, I'm not saying they didn't make some significant changes here and there, but on average, people would go back to their businesses and they would feel better that they talked about how maybe they were feeling guilty and maybe they were doing things that weren't the highest standards of awakeness or consciousness or whatnot. Then we're going to change it as an industry and individually. A lot of times I just felt like that wasn't really happening. And I think one of the reasons why it didn't happen is because I think they were having often guilt that wasn't always really warranted. It was just this idea, maybe I'm doing something wrong. You can't get it wrong. If you're showing up with the intent to help and you bring your full heart and your full truth into it, you can't get it wrong. Can you improve? Can you always improve? Can you make things better? Yes, always. But you can't just stop yourself in the first place, because you'll never get anywhere else at all. You'll never get anywhere. You'll never help people that much or at all if you're not willing to show up and just do what you already know what to do and to trust it. So let's take the worst case scenario. Someone hands you $20,000 or more. They hire you to help you with something. Let's say you're there to help them, break through relationship patterns and find their purpose and start living it. All right. Literally, I'm sure there's people that do that. They're listening right now. Like I typically do all that with my clients. There's somebody out there, right? Let's say you do that. So they come into the program, it's $20,000 program. It could be 2,000 for you, but let's say it's 20,000 or more. They come in, first session, they show up like gangbusters. They're ready to go. You're doing clearing. You're getting clear about what they really want, clearing out the things they don't want, doing it structurally, strategically. And so things are then they're feeling really good. You do a clearing, they feel really good. You give them specific things to follow through on. And okay, you need to get basically the plan. Let's get the plan worked out and take certain actions. And they do all that. Let's say they do like most of it. They do most or all of it the first time. Okay, second session. All right, now the rubber needs to hit the road. You're going to need to say goodbye to these people in relationships. You need to take action on this, that. You need to start, talking about maybe leaving your job. Okay, you need to start taking some of these big actions. Next session comes around and they say, you know what? I'm not feeling too good. Can't make the session. Well, how's it going? Did you take those actions yet? Oh, so sorry to hear, but did you take this? No, I didn't. I'm not feeling good. Can we meet in a week or two? Or, I don't know when I'll feel better. Okay. Next time comes around, they come onto the call. Yeah, I've been feeling sick. Things aren't going well. I'm dealing with a lot of energies lately too. And yeah, I didn't take it. Yeah, did you take those actions? Nope, I haven't taken those actions. Okay, all right. And then you try to address the deeper undercurrent of energy. Perhaps if you do healing and whatnot, you try to coach them up into it, and or maybe you even buy in that they're really in a bad place, and maybe they are, but like often it's not that. It's usually the resistance that's holding them back. So, and they're showing up as like, I'm not feeling well. It's pretty big, and mostly the energy just needs to be cleared up, and they need to get aligned with taking the actions that they need to take. And sometimes they just have to take them. Even if there is alignment around, we can still choose not to take an action. So, third session, fourth session, fifth session, sixth session, you keep doing the clearing, and they make some progress. They're feeling better. They're getting more clarity on what they really want. They understand that they should take these actions, but they still haven't taken them. And all of a sudden, like let's say session 10, they are 80 and like they just stop showing up. And they don't even come to the sessions anymore. Even if they're group, one-to-one, I don't care what it is, they stop showing up. Who got it wrong? Did you get it wrong? Did they get it wrong? Did you both get it wrong? Did anybody get it wrong? They didn't take the actions. They could have. They could have faced their fears. They could have taken some of these actions. They chose not to. That is not your responsibility. They had to do with actions they need. Well, if I had cleared their blocks, but if this, if that, no. People take actions all the time without clearing these deeper blocks. It can help people to take certain actions. Okay, we cleared the block. All right, great. You're ready to go now, right? Yep, I feel so good about it now. But sometimes there's actions people have to take that, no matter how much psychology we use, how much energy alignment work we do, it seems like people are just will choose not to sometimes. And it may not happen all the time, but all it takes is one person. And then they give you 20 grand, they walk away. You're like, they didn't really get any real results in your mind anyway. And now you've got all their money, and this thing didn't happen. So now, if this has ever happened already, now that makes you fearful, perhaps for some of you, if you're listening in, of repeating the program with somebody. Okay, what if that happens again? I don't feel good about it, right? So, how do you get around that? How do you make sure that that never happens again? That's what would happen. Like, or does it ever happen in the first place? The first thing is it's going to happen. Okay, you got to stop trying to not make it happen. It's going to happen one way or another. It's going to happen. Even if it didn't take actions, like let's say 95% of your clients get stellar results, then you got your 5% that for whatever reasons, it doesn't go to the stellar result area, but it comes to some results, but not the full results, then that's the way it is. You are in integrity as long as you let them know up front how it works. This is how it works. This is what's expected of you. This is what is expected of me. These are the intended results. Let's just focus on you getting results. There's no absolute, you can tell there's no absolute guarantee. I can't say for a billion% you'll get them, but let's focus on getting the results. Let's just focus on it. I'm going to help you to do that. What happens is even those that seem like they didn't go so great, I'm telling you, bring them into it. You're helping them move forward on their path. And that's super valuable. You don't know how, maybe you're setting them up for the next coach that they invest with that doesn't do very much work with them. All of a sudden they get a huge breakthrough. And then all the credit goes to them. But that's just how it works. But you may have helped set them up for that. Okay. And then your mind says, that sounds like a bunch of stuff. I should just get the job done. It just doesn't work that way in this field. Guys, it just doesn't work that way in this field. You got to get past your old ideas that if I didn't get the job done right, based on outward results, that it didn't happen. No, you have to go with your guidance. Ask your intuition. Did I do what I knew to do? Did I do my best? If I didn't, what could I have done better? We're human. We're not going to always do our best. So in transformational space, we don't know when the breakthroughs are going to happen or how they're going to happen all the time. Even if you can get 95% plus stellar results with people, something is going to go awry eventually. And as long as you didn't absolutely guarantee they would get the results, then, and you told them they would need to do certain things. And then a lot of those 5% people, like they just didn't do what they were supposed to do. And that's totally on them. Then that's it. And we don't control their path. We don't control why things are happening when. We don't control it. We're just there to make the contribution we're meant to make. We don't know why they needed to make that investment sometimes. We don't know why it didn't seem to come together sometimes. We could come up with reasons, but we may not know the real reason every single time. I would like to say, like, through the work I do, maybe you'll do a little bit better because you tune into people. I do energy scan training for people. You can tune in and see maybe more of the deeper roots of what's going on. But even in that work, sometimes for whatever reason, things don't always come together. That doesn't mean like almost every single client isn't happy, just means something will happen eventually. So I don't want to over belabor each point, but I wanted to just cover that one. Guys, get over it. It's okay. It's going to happen. And the people that love you won't mind. They'll feel like, your work was valuable and they will thank you for it. And it'll only make you hungry to grow and expand anyway. And it'll do that for them if they're in the right mind as well. And so it's all good is my point. Ultimately, it's all good. We have to have that mentality because that's just the nature of this work. Number 2, you feel like your work is spiritual, sacred, heartfelt. Therefore, money does not feel natural to receive for your services. So it feels so sacred. If something's really sacred, then maybe I shouldn't be charging for it. It's like you come to church, we're not going to mandate that you have to give me money. Instead, if you're into it, put some money in the basket, like that kind of idea. Well, there's some hardcore churches out there too. They're like, no, you got to tithe if you're going to be a member of this church, right? So that's probably more the way it ought to be, quite frankly. Like if I ever run a church, I'll probably say we'd love for you to become a member. And these are the expectations. I don't know if it's a tithe is required or not, but it's probably what I would do because it takes money to make this thing happen. It just is at this point in time in history. So it takes money to make it happen. And your work is awesome and perhaps it is very sacred, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't be paid. You shouldn't be well paid. You should be well paid. You should be well paid. You're changing people's lives in deep and profound ways. And your work is just, your work is sacred, yeah, but so is everything else. Everything's sacred. You say, well, it's more sacred. I guess maybe in a way, but then again, no, in the absolute realm, nothing's, more, sacred really ultimately than something else. Okay, at least that's my point of view. You guys can agree or disagree. But I'm telling you that even though at first it doesn't feel natural, it's just only because, first and foremost, because we've been trained to think that we're supposed to do our work for free or low price. And I feel it's part of a larger disempowerment campaign in a collective consciousness that people that do incredible spiritual work aren't to be taken entirely seriously. Maybe it's not real, but it is real. And it's just as real as me taking hammer and nails to something and building something. It's just as real. It's just our limited minds can't understand like the 5D and beyond, right? It doesn't understand it. So then it goes crazy with it and says it's not real. It's not real. How can we charge for it? We can't trust it. We can't predict it. Maybe we should just do it for free. Let God's grace just to flow through me. After all, it's not me doing it anyway. As though you think you're doing everything else. Are you kidding me? It's only by the grace of God that anything's happening. So get over it. Be a spiritual rock star badass, and start valuing you. Start loving you by letting money into your business in a deeper and more profound way. All right, the next one, you lack confidence in your abilities and gifts. So this comes up a lot. Like, well, I might be good or I might be really good, but I don't know if I'm as good as some other people out there. Well, then, that doesn't matter. You're comparing, you're always going to lose in comparison. You're always going to think you're lower than someone else. I think about my services and I start looking at testimonials of like tons of people out there. Like for other people, my head's going to get into it. I'll be like, maybe they're doing better work than I do. I'll just let them do all the work. I'll just sit back, and maybe I'll help some people, but I better keep my prices low. And after all, maybe I'm not as good as other people. And a lot of how good you are does, in part at least, stem from confidence. Having confidence with no reason. You could have reasons. I have tons of certificates. I have experience, or not, or have these gifts, whatever it is. But I'm sure there are tons of reasons for confidence, but also having confidence because people do better when they work with you when you're being confident. How are people going to do better? When you're wishy-washy and less confident in your work, or when you're being more confident? It's going to tend to be when you're more confident. Of course, you want to be humble and really connect with people and not act like a know-it-all and all that stuff. Absolutely, but you can still work with tremendous confidence. So sometimes confidence just has to do with having confidence for no reason, trusting source is going to provide the answers. So again, I'll keep hitting on it because right now I'm offering you guys to come into my energy scan training to attract, serve, and enroll high-end clients. We'll put a link in the description below for you to reach out to me. It's just, you might want to learn to harness your deeper gifts. Through energy scanning, you could tune into people's energies and chakras and all that stuff. And it gives you a lot more confidence. It gives you greater confidence. It helps you finally trust source has got your back. Because once you get into the rhythm of something like energy scanning, you can't know the things from that space without it just kind of downloading into you. And then you start doing everything in your life more from that place. So that can help, but at the same time, you still need to have, even with that, like you need to have a swagger. So you got to get your swag on, have some confidence, even when in your head, you think you have no reason for confidence. Because you're infinite, you're infinitely powerful, you're amazing. You're meant to shine and do your work. Okay, you are afraid to turn people away because they may not have the money to invest. So this is why we go low price, free, or we never go to the high end, the high end clients that I talk about. High end being even $3,000 to $5,000, much less 10 or 20,000 or more. So afraid, wow, it's going to be too much. People that are really in need are going to be turned away and there's nowhere for them to go and there's no way they could get help then. That is so much hogwash. There's so many resources online. There's so many people offering free and low price. That's fine for the people that are called to that at this time. There's always people doing that. They can find the help if they want it. It's there. It's in the world. It's many people. So yeah, you may turn them away from working with you because you're in business and you want to have a prosperous business. Whereas most of the people doing free and low price do not have those kind of businesses. They're struggling, or they're non-for-profit, they're making their money in another way in the business. But for you, if you're doing one-to-one services, this is your livelihood. And you have to charge what it is you need to charge so you can stay in business and grow and be prosperous. So never be afraid to turn people away in a sense, but it's not really you're turning people away. It's just either at a fit or they're not. Either they're a fit and then they're willing to take the next steps, or they're not. Well, but maybe they just don't have the money and they're a fit. Then they're still not a fit. They has to fit at every level. It has to fit on every level. Well, just this one time, I'll do it for lower price or for free. But what I found is often that's not a very good idea. Like you only regret it, maybe not right away, but later you will. When you look at how your business is doing, you're going to start seeing all the, only this one times you did and start regretting it. So anyway, but make your offers anyway and just stand by them. Get aligned with your offer, and the right people will keep finding you. They'll be so happy that you charge what you do. They may say, wow, it's a bit of a stretch, but the right people will step into that, and they'll be so happy that you showed up in a bigger way, and ask them to stretch. I promise you. But you just have to get aligned with that offer. So those are all parts of getting aligned with those high-end clients. You're worried about taking money. I'm going to take their money from other people, that you don't want to burden them financially. So this is number 5, Ron, by the way. So you're not taking anybody's money. Nobody has money. Everybody has it and everybody doesn't. It's just a made-up idea, Literally, I could start a cryptocurrency today, and I could start off saying I got a trillion Daniel dollars today. Okay, I've got it. I just created it. I just turn it on. Just turn on a computer. I put down. I got a trillion of them. I got it. Now, if I convince people in the world that this thing I just made up is worth something, then we're off to the races. I got a trillion of them, and it's really worth something. All right. We want to get in on my kitty and my bank. All right, give me some fiat to get in, and I'll trade you some of mine. Mine's better anyway. That fiat, who wants that? That's all government control. I've got a much better system. It's all blockchain, secure, etc. But I just made it all up, and I've decided it has value. Then the people that buy into the currency decide it has value. It's all based on consent and agreement. The money itself has no value otherwise. So you're not taking anybody's money. You're giving them the opportunity to invest. And it just circulates into your sphere. So what's really happening is they're saying, I trust so much, I'm willing to take this imaginary thing that we play with, bring it into it, and then get help. But this imaginary stuff matters because blah, blah, blah. And it does, but it's like, we're infinitely abundant. It comes from source. Source is paying for their services. Doesn't come from nothing comes from anywhere else. You're not really taking their money. Okay, they're deciding to invest. And if you ever feel like you're just taking someone's money, then then either don't do it or have a new mentality. Yeah, I'm going to take your money. I'm going to take away all your fears and your BS as well. Like get a new attitude about it. You're not going to burden them because they're already suffering from whatever it is that they are wanting help from. And if the change is worth what you're saying, like what you would like them to invest, and they get the results, or they feel like you really help them in the direction of those results, they'll still be happy. Trust me. I know. I've been doing this online, for what, 16 years? They'll still be happy. And then there'll always be somebody that's not happy. Okay. You're always going to have somebody eventually that's not happy. And then you got to get over that. That's something you got to work on within yourself. It's not really a problem. It's more like, what issues is that bringing up? How maybe your parents weren't there for you, or now they lied to you, or someone else lied to you in the lunch line, or what's the real issue? Because usually it's not really that, why you'd be so triggered by the idea that maybe things didn't work out with you and a client, like from your mind, why didn't it seem like it worked out? Okay. You brought everything you knew into it. They brought what they could into it, but if you basically did your job, there's nothing to feel bad about. You did what you did, and it worked for a lot of people. And you told them you can't guarantee results, but they will gain through it. Everybody will gain from your services. That I do know. I do know, whether we can see it or not. Number 6, you feel awkward and or too introverted to act in a way that allows you to be aligned to make an offer. It seems really hard to communicate. Like me become enrolling, sell people anything. Give me a break. I just want to help people. I just want to be a coach. I just want to be a healer. I just want to do my thing. I just want to do my trainings and be a teacher. Great. Well, one of the first things you need to teach them is that maybe they need the service. So look at it that way. I'm going to coach them into it. I'm going to hold the space. If you're a healer, maybe it's more of a holding a space and listen to them. Let them listen to their own intuition of this is really wanting to happen for them. So you find your own way to share your offers. Find your own unique way. There's not an absolute right way to do it. The most absolute right way is to be fully yourself. When you're fully yourself, things start working. Number 7, you don't know how to make offers to the right people that might want to work with you. So how do I approach these people that have these bigger businesses or these executives or I don't know how to make it. I don't know how to make offers to them. Maybe it's different than how you normally make an offer. And maybe that's true. Maybe it does need to be made differently. When you approach a major corporation is going to be different. How you approach, the corporate executive assistant that's looking to quit her job and do psychic work on the side. So, do a new business venture. So, for herself, it's going to be different. So it might be that it's different. I don't know how to make an offer like that. Well, you better find out from people that have made those type of offers, or to start making offers and learn what is your way to success. Because if you keep making enough offers, you're going to figure it out. But you have to make offers, and you got to make a lot of them. So no matter any way you look at it, well, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Well, you'll learn how to do by making offers. Make offers. Make offers. And when I first started in my business, I probably lagged on offers at first. And I got to where consistently I was making 10 to 13 offers off of consults every single week for a long time. I was sure there's a week here and there when I didn't, but like it was the consistent numbers. Okay. I need 10 to 13 a week. And I didn't have a big list at all or nothing. So not back then, but I always found a way to make it happen. How did I do it? Well, there's a number of different ways of finding people. One is I keep asking for referrals. I was doing my energy scans. Is how I do it. It's a fun way to do it. You got an energy scan, tune into somebody's energies and chakras about what wants to happen for them, what's going on in their energy. It's pretty cool. It's pretty powerful, I must say. It's a unique way. It's not the same thing they've heard a million times. Let's do a discovery call. Let's see what's going on for you. It's different. It's not what people are used to, especially getting it for how I teach it primarily is to offer them for free. I still do them for free. I still do energy scans for free. I've threatened to start charging for them because I know they're so valuable that they could change someone's life on the spot. And I'm good with that, even if somebody doesn't hire me, because that's what I'm here for. But I know enough of the right people will say yes. And then those are the people I work with more. So how do you make an offer? How do you do it? Just start making offers. Use what you already know. Maybe take some courses. I teach people how to make offers, more for the one-to-one and for one-to-one and group transformational stuff. More for that. I can also teach you to do it in other ways, but that's my main thing. Or I find someone else that does a lot of training around enrollment that resonates for you. Like that, okay. Like the heartfelt offer type of people. There's tons of heart selling stuff out there. You don't like that, you want hardcore sales, then hire that type of person. But get to their ideas, then find your own way of doing it that feels good to you. Isn't just about signing people up. That drives me nuts. I'm going to get it up to like 100% almost closing rates on all my enrollment calls. That is not the goal, in my opinion. I could have near 100% closing rates, but I also, what does that really mean? What am I closing them on? I mean, I guess I could do that. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe if I offer more and more people smaller price things and stuff, yeah. Or if I offer high price things, use max pressure on them to where I make them think they're totally idiots if they don't work with me, I guess I could try tactics like that, like some people do. And closing rates will go up, but the satisfaction rate on the back end will go down. And some of those people would be so mad they'll never want to talk to me again, which I'm fine with, by the way. But maybe they would have worked with me sometime in the future. Not many of them. Most people, if they don't work with you right away, they just don't often, more times than not. So it's fine to like be a little too assertive at times. There's this whole thing, how about being too assertive or being too passive and stuff. You find your own alignment with making offers over time. But you got to make offers. And how do I make them the right people? First of all, know who the right people are. Dial that in if you haven't already done that step. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com, get your make money meditation. There'll be an upgrade option, get option 2-day event in there. It will help you to figure out your tribe. It'll help you. It'll definitely help you. Take you through meditations and a bunch of questions to help you understand more who that person is. Then you get aligned with them just by beginning to understand who they are, taking action on the things I tell you to do. Beyond that as well, to get it clear about who they are and what offer to make to them as well. I also teach you how to do that. So anyway, I recommend it if you want something that's a lower price investment, but yet will give you a lot of value in discovering who that is. That's the first thing. Then just get in front of them. Keep getting in front of them. And there's tons of ways. Are you doing Facebook Lives? Do you have a Facebook group? Do you have an email list? Do you have people, that connect with those people all the time and maybe make them referral partners? Or there's so many ways. And I'm always good at, always I'm good at finding, what's the right way for each person. So if you need some help on it, let me know. Otherwise, just get after it. Get in front of people. Where do they hang out? What do they do? Who are the people they're connecting with? What are the publications they read? Well, these days, I don't know. It's probably all online stuff, right? Where are they hanging out? Get in front of them. Do it in a way that's right for you. It feels good for you. Does it delight you to get in front of them in the way that you're imagining? You might be scared of it, but would it delight you once you got past your fear? Then that's a good way to get in front of them. Okay. Anyway, that was number 7. What was number 7? You don't know how to make offers to the right people that want to work with you. Okay. Figure out who those people are, and then just hire the people you need to help you to know what to say, how to show up for the right people, whoever they might be, and make those offers. Number 8, you're unsure how to talk about what you do. Why do this quantum, thing? We're working with the Palladians and this group and that group, and it's so in depth and rich, and it's almost impossible to explain it to somebody. I remember somebody telling me that was going through a program with me. I said, "Yes, what results do they get? Tell me what results do they get?" Well, their higher chakras will become aligned with the Palladian energies, and then this or that. Okay, yeah, but here down on Earth, what results will they experience? Well, probably they'll feel better, probably have more confidence, their intuitive and psychic gifts will be stronger, they'll be more centered in their truth, but it's so mystical and deep. Yeah, okay, but what will they get from that? Feel more at peace. Like, you can put in the other stuff that's less tangible. I'm fine with that, like marketing those things and talking about those things. That it can be your special sauce that puts them over the edge. Like, I want to work with you, but their logical mind wants to hear like the more tangible things that they're going to get. So make sure that you include that. So that's a tip to help you to not be so unsure about how to talk about what you do. All right. Can't cover every scenario today, but at least it gives you something there. Number 9, marketing and selling yourself is so heavy at times that you just wish someone would do it for you. Just get me out of the way. Just someone else markets and sells the whole thing. And that's possible, actually. There are people out there that are really good at their work. They've kind of got a guru kind of status. They've got teams that market for them, they sell for them. All they do is they just show up where they're told to show up. Hey, got a podcast to get on. Hey, there's a speaking gig coming up. They're interested in having you. Would you want to speak here? Oh yeah, okay, great. Or they have a team even cultivating, talks for them in person, podcasts, radio shows, the whole thing. What's it take to do that? Well, I mean, hopefully you know how to market. You have people that know how to market your brilliance and who you are in the first place and in place. And then you have to have the resources to hire those people. Okay. So most people aren't going to do it just on a percentage split or something, right? Just pieces of the pie. Like most people aren't going to do that. No, that's not enough. I got bills to pay. I don't know about this percentages thing. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's usually not for the best. You're usually going to be better off to hire people. It's cleaner. And just get over it. But most people are not in a place where they can do that all the time. To hire this big team to do all this big marketing for them. And then if you're just throwing some crazy tactic out there, like this team's going to make it happen, and then you're not energy aligned with the work happening, never going to work. Never going to work. What do I mean by that? If you're like, oh, I'll just hire people, they'll figure it all out, they'll all come to me, and I'll be making tons of money. And usually, I mean, in my experience, okay, could be exceptions for sure, but what do I know? I say, what do I know? I'll give you a lot of wisdom, but then I'll say, what do I know at the end of the day? But from what I've seen, it's like that stuff doesn't work. Those type of people come to me and are like, man, I'm spending tons of money. It's bringing, no good, or it's bringing not enough. Like I can't keep up with the expenses and it's not really working. That's because you haven't got energy aligned with it, or it's just not the way you're supposed to be doing things. There's an authentic path of how things want to happen for you. Sometimes you have to just get over it, realize it's of service for me to show up and share my marketing message with people, that it is well. We'll talk about that more in a bit, but like realizing people need to connect with you in a certain way, whether it's like you're showing up at speaking events, or you're writing your books, or both, or you're doing your social media, or I don't know, but like, because everybody can be different. It could be all of those things. Your email list, your articles online, your podcast, like there's so many things. All right, so you have to find the right way for you. And I understand this idea that it's heavy. If it's heavy, that means you don't know your mission clearly enough. When you're clear on your mission, you want to share it with everybody, even if you're shy. It'd be like, I am scared, I am concerned about showing up, but I will be sharing that message. And so you don't know what it is yet. So if that's the case, you want to get somebody that helps you dial that in. You can search your guides and all that stuff, but if you've already done all that, you still don't know what the heck it is that's your true mission, that keeps that could keep you awake at night, like wanting to do it because it's that important to you. Then you're not activated enough to have as much success as you could have, and therefore you won't feel like doing the marketing. It always feel a little bit off. It always feel like, well, I don't know. I know I'm supposed to get clients, but I don't want to do it. So don't look at it as marketing. Look at it as I'm sharing my energy and inspiring people or helping people in the process of, putting seeds out there that maybe there's something more, like I'm doing on this podcast. Like, hey, you guys I could tune into you. I could help you with all these sorts of things, but no big deal if you don't. It's up to you. I mean, you want to connect with me? Let's get it done. Let's move on. If not, if you're not if you're not ready to explore or to take those steps, then okay, and keep it the way it is, or do whatever you're gonna do. I mean, whatever, wherever you're guided, I guess, or whatever happens. I can help you. I can make it happen for you, so to speak, together with you. So those are just seeds that you plant, and I just feel like I'm making an opportunity available. I'm not, wow, I just marketed. I'm marketing. Well, I'm just making an opportunity available. I don't have to be concerned. Like, okay, I'm just called to make an opportunity available. Look at it that way. You just want to make opportunities available for people that are looking for the answer that you bring. Okay, let's get to number 10. All right. You are unclear how inspiring transformation in marketing and selling your message can be for others. You don't realize like you're going to change people's lives through your marketing, through your selling. Like when you make your sales presentation from stage, if you do that, or you start doing that, which I recommend, we all learn to do more of that. Or if it's in that one-to-one conversation, and you're looking to enroll them in the transformation that's at hand for them. Like, how's it going to change their life? Why does it matter? Why do you care? Why should they care? Like for me, one of the reasons why I care is because you guys have latent gifts that you buried and put away because you've been told it's wrong through your past lives and everything. And I'm here to say it's not wrong. It's not real. It's real. We need to start making it real on the planet so we can see a real shift. And still, until you start showing up with those gifts, we're not going to see the level of enlightenment and transformation that we're looking for on the planet, period. So it's time to bring the deeper gifts online and start rocking it. And then from there, of course, then it's like being willing to show up, because you're not going to be persecuted. You got to show up and make your offers. You got to show up and to face the fears, clear through your fears. Realize, hey, we're not living back in those days anymore. And we're not going to be living those days. I always tell people, you got any fears around people, bringing you down in this industry? No. Well, you can't even call yourself a healer where I live. Yeah, no, you can. I don't care. Those are man-made laws. You can. I'm sure you can. All right. I'm even here on the airwaves, putting my neck out, I guess, maybe, saying, no, you can. The way that the environment is today, they'd probably sick somebody after me on that, right? Like it's getting, but I don't care. I'm saying, well, I'm not having any of that, So if you're in it together with me at that level, then you would be part of my tribe. You would be like, yeah, I'm done with this nonsense. There's so much more in the 5D and beyond. Everybody says it's not real, like the mainstream consciousness still mostly says it's not totally real. It cannot be relied on. Science, yeah, science only can be relied on. I love science. I think it shows you some stuff, but it all can be transcended. It all could be not true ultimately. It could be proven not true at any moment in time. It could all be subject to change. We want to come from the changeless, from a place that is a much higher reality, much higher, deeper reality. So isn't that kind of inspiring? Isn't that kind of helpful? Like, I'm not making even a specific, I am marketing, I guess, right? But I'm not even selling anything particularly, but this is helpful. You guys need to know this stuff. That's the sort of thing that will keep me going. That's something I'll jump in front of a bus for if I needed to. I don't think I probably need to, but if I needed to, like if it actually would help humanity to wake up in that specific way, because the world-changing light leaders and healers are finally willing to be bold enough to show up as who they are and start doing their work consistently, therefore bringing the entire consciousness on board with 5D and beyond, rather than being more concerned about, are we at, operating at 5G and beyond? Like that needs to be like completely secondary. We need to be at 5D and beyond as a consciousness. Then we'll see about what the technology we need here down on the ground. We've got it backwards. We got it backwards. All right. So that's my rant. Okay, let's go to the bonus one, number 11. That you're not confident. People will accept you by hiring you. And the best way to avoid rejection is not to make the offers. In other words, if they don't hire, if I don't get hired again and again, I keep making offers, I'm being rejected. I'm personally being rejected again and again. And that doesn't feel good. That feels horrible. It feels like almost like a death, like I'm being outcast. And so the best way to avoid that is don't make any offers. Right? No problem. But then you're out of business. Okay, great. Now you're out of business and you're not facing your fear of rejection. It's a fear. It's a crazy idea that you are personally being rejected. It's just these people are not resonating for whatever the reasons are. It's a matter of getting to the right people and for you to be energy aligned with letting them come on board. And once you start getting in front of the right people, you could screw up a lot of things and how you talk to people and how you present yourself. Good 30-50% of them might jump in anyway because they know they're supposed to work with you. So unless you make it really bad, then don't even make an offer, and nobody's going to work with you. So you got to move through it. Realize when you're being rejected, you're usually not operating as you're not operating fully as you, and you're not operating in a way where you're getting in front of the right people. And you'll have less no's. You'll have way less no's, and you won't have all the headaches you used to have too with the people you really got kind of irritated, kind of sick of working with. Now you start working with more the type of people that not that you need to, but if you need to be dialoguing with them at 11 o'clock at night, even on a Saturday, you might do it because you love them so much and you love working with them so much that you would do it and gladly and never regret it because you're so aligned in your mission and with that tribe, and for the amount that you're receiving financially for it as part of the whole package, that's huge for you. And that's the level you want to get to, that you would feel really good about it, even potentially to those levels. So, that's where I'm grateful to be at, with my one-to-one clients and, working with people in my energy scan training programs, probably not as deep of a level of like transcendent, like joy that I get sometimes of working with some of my more private clients, but as a collective, I'm nearly as energized. I must say it's not quite the same because some of these people are leaders and they're doing very inspiring things, and it just really juices me. It really juices me up to support the spiritual rock stars on the move already, I must say. But people are up and rising. At the same time, I'll do whatever I can to help them. And that's why I have groups available to help you guys rise up so that you become those people. You are world-changing light leaders on the move. You are rising up. And so that's why I have an energy scan training to attract, serve, and enroll high-end clients group available in the first place, so that we can build you up and help you where you are and start getting to where you could imagine where you would want to be and where you're meant to be, where your soul knows it aches to go. That's what's important. That's what needs to happen. And just getting past this idea that not making this, that is something that'll keep me going. Like, is keeping after you guys, like to honor your gifts, show up, make offers, and make high-end offers. Now that is all part of it. And to do it from 5D and beyond in a way that delights you and joy, it puts you in joy and fulfillment, that's everything, right? That's bringing it all together is where it's at. So if you're looking to bring it all together, to make it easier for yourself to show up, do your work, being fully who you are, and with all your gifts, all your awesomeness, with the exact right messages, or much more aligned message, right branding or whatever, all those things, like that's what I love doing, is bringing it all together for you so that the offers are right, the people you're reaching are right, messaging, the sales, everything, getting everything improved, aligned in the alignment, and really helping you up level in your connection with source and your gifts, rocking it out from there. If you're looking for support in that area, you might say, I don't need no support. But if your soul is called to get support right now, is to consider raising your hand and reaching out to me. So you can do that at yoursacredpurpose.com. There's opportunities that right there to meet with me, the Rock Your Sacred Purpose Energy Scan consultation. And of course, the meditate, make money meditation. That's an easy one. That's a free meditation that will help you to open up your energy and chakras and give you downloads to help you with the 5D and beyond, to let everything be easier. Because one of the number one reasons, of course, you're not making offers is you're not doing it the 5D way. You're not coming from the deeper perspective that, we're infinite beings, kind of, having this amazing, really meaningful, incredible experience. Yet we're kind of horsing around with it at the same time. We mean business, and yet, we're taking ourselves too seriously. When we lighten up, when we get into those higher bandwidths, we become connected. We become connected with ourselves and our soul tribe, and what we sense and feel is wanting to come through us. And we can choose to use, some of the 3D and 4D kind of concepts and rules that resonate with us, or if they don't resonate with us so much, to, really just deepen in our connection and bring forth full blast who we are in every way. A higher dimensional aspect, but also just a full energy package and signature of who you are. Not being reluctant or hiding anymore, but to show up fully. So anyway, the links are in the description below, or the link, to Your Sacred Purpose. We may have more than one link down there. And I look forward to connecting further with you. Anyway, but I was just so grateful, for you to listen in today and to share all this information with you. Of course, this podcast went even longer than I intended, but I'm so grateful for everything that came through today. So last thing is we're wrapping up, and we'll put this in the description too. Go to Rock Your Sacred Purpose Facebook group. I do channelings and mostly energy scans actually, and then do some channel messages and channel prayers and share wisdom with you live there. And the live, you can't beat live. So make sure you go to Rock Your Sacred Purpose, get the lives 3 p.m. Central on Mondays, and they're all recorded and posted, each week as well. So I'm there most every Monday, unless I'm out of town or it's a holiday. So, okay, everybody, so glad to be with you today. Keep on tuning in, and we'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till next time, everyone, goodbye for now. Listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.